Hello world, you're watching 80s Music Twin Ranked, and once again we stray into movies. James Bond movies. That joke's gonna get old, isn't it? Anyways, before we get there, we will mention songs, because last week we did James Bond songs, and I forgot to mention Weird Al, because he did a parody of James Bond songs called Spy Hard.
Yeah, I'm sure the movie with Leslie Nielsen is also a parody of James Bond movies.
And obviously the title is not a James Bond title, it's a Die Hard, but
Yeah.
just with Spy Hard. So, there you have it. Blooper, I don't know. Correction. Anyways, this week we're doing the movies. We're ranking them from, we're going to go opposite what we did last week. We're going from worst to best. Being 80s.
Again, our opinion.
Yes.
Sure you have a favorite Bond movie.
Now, here's what I think. Okay, now, are people even into James Bond nowadays?
I don't know. If they are, they only watch the movies that are out now and they don't go back. And
Whereas
watch the
we
previous
went
one.
back because it
Yeah.
was early on, and
And
still
we had to
watched
go
it.
to the video store to get them. Or, I mean, you know, when we were young,
Yeah.
wait until they came on TV because they weren't available
All right.
like they are now. Just readily available.
we
everywhere.
got we got an '80s bias. I'm sure some movies that other people would not rank very high.
Yeah.
We do because that's
And you
what
have,
we
if you have like Netflix or Hulu or any of the Peacock streaming services, one of those services has all the James Bond films on there at all times.
Yeah.
So you can find it some streaming service.
There was
has
a time where I wanted to buy all of them on DVD.
and you can buy them as a set
can.
too. And
Everyone, but you know, literally, you can probably get them at the. Why buy anything anymore when you can literally get them from the library?
that's the thing. When we were young, okay, it was cassette tapes. We bought cassette tapes, and those were like out of the window as soon as DVDs came or CDs came around. Like VHS.
You didn't know.
down
Should
there.
I switch?
Yeah, we did VHS too, and now it's DVDs. Well, now it's not DVDs. It became DVDs, and now it's like, do
Blu-ray.
you buy a DVD because now those are going out too.
Right. Yeah. So who knows? Don't buy anything.
Yeah. Or like I wanted to watch all the Mission Impossible the television show. When it came out, I like kept going and getting them. I'm like, then again, now there's a streaming service has every single episode.
We know how to waste money, don't we?
Yeah.
All right. So let's get into the movies, which you will totally disagree with.
Well, you probably disagreed with me too.
That's right. On a few. Not
All right.
very many, but
All right.
a couple for sure. Just like the songs. Okay, so starting down at the bottom, we have less movies than songs because we included 2 songs from On Her Majesty's Secret Service, so it trims it by 1. So coming in at number 26, dead last, The Mess, Quantum of Solace.
Quantum of Solace, which is so confusing watching it. It's just a scene by scene. Oh, let's see how this action plays out. That's pretty much what you're doing because you're like, what's it about? I have no idea.
And is it the first movie that was like a sequel from?
It was a sequel to
previous?
Casino Royale. It was the
Did
reboot.
James Bond,
but
did James Bond do that before? One movie tied into the previous ever?
sometimes,
I mean, maybe it did.
Sometimes.
Obviously, Jaws' character moved from 2 movies.
Okay, like On Her Majesty's Secret Service. At the end, Mrs. Bond is
Died.
killed.
That's right.
And in the beginning of Diamonds Forever,
Right, he
Sean
went to her
Connery's
grave.
going around trying to find Blofeld.
Oh, that's right.
It's like, where is he?
And Roger
So-
Moore did go to her grave
Yeah.
in For Your Eyes Only. Okay. But I will say this. So now the reason we're doing James Bond is because we just went from the Beatles, all the Beatles who were mentioned Bond. And what do you know, in Quantum of Solace, one of the Bond girls' names, Strawberry Fields.
Oh yeah, Strawberry Fields, yes.
Which is a song by the Beatles. So even though he said you have to listen to the Beatles songs with earmuffs on, they included the Beatles into their movies.
Yeah, I think she was a redhead in that movie, but she's
Yes.
not a natural redhead.
Right. Is she even a star anymore to shoot? For?
She makes movies, just not mainstream movies.
Yeah, there's
She did it on purpose.
There's
Also,
literally 2 movies.
she was
that are
born
famous.
with. She was also born with 6 fingers on each hand and had to have one amputated. And it was like so the doctors cut them off.
That's a Bond villain.
Yeah.
Okay. So
It's real life. She actually.
all right. Next one up. our favorite James Bond person did have a horrible movie. Wasn't dead last because it wasn't a mess. It was just him being really old.
Yeah.
That would be A View to a Kill. Also a dumb title.
Yeah.
Roger Moore's last. He was, what was he, 70 something in that?
He was older than Sean Connery when he started.
Yeah, he was old.
But one of my favorite scenes in that movie, I remember they were on the blimp, and he was
Yes.
like, he had a meeting with all these executives of a plan of his, and then one guy's like, I'm not going. He goes, oh, you can leave. And he threw him out of the blimp, and he comes back in the room, he's like, anybody else want to step out?
Did they know that he fell?
I don't think so. No, I don't
Yes.
think so. We did.
We
when he
did,
said
right. Yes. I don't know if I have a favorite part of that movie at all. Yeah. So there's, I do know this. There are 3 times where James Bond went off the rails with sounds, right? Okay. One was the man with the golden gun, where when they
Yeah, and the slide whistle.
slide
right,
whistle,
yeah.
very inappropriate.
I don't know why they shouldn't have had any editing in that scene at all. Because also they went into the car,
Right,
and
right.
the car was like going
Yes.
with them. Yeah, they
Yeah.
should have just showed it because it looked like
Correct.
the car performed a stunt.
Correct. It did. Now the second one is Octopussy, where they had the Tarzan sound, but
Yeah, that's right.
I didn't think that was so bad.
Yeah.
Right? Not as bad as a slide whistle. But the third one is having a Beach Boy song when he's doing the
The ski
snowboard.
Yeah, snowboard. Yeah, ski.
very, very stupid. Ruined a possible good opening. I don't know. Okay. Next one, number 24. This is Die Another Day. I would say this, and I'm not going to.
That is a very. That is.
I'm not telling you the rankings of these. I'm just.
That's a
telling you.
mess at the end. I think.
I think the tsunami ruined it. Right?
Yeah.
The fact that there's an invisible car, which is a dumb idea.
Yeah, but what is he? Paragliding or he's on a glider?
Yeah,
or something.
something. But yeah, the fact that it was because it did have that movie did have a decent beginning, right? And he actually was a prisoner of war, so could have went a lot of good places. That no, it did that.
Yeah, I think that's Rosamund Pike's first film before she became relatively big. And
She got big at that. I don't know if it was her first film, but and those are different people, right? So he had a Daniel Craig, a Roger Moore, a Pierce Brosnan, and now the worst Sean Connery movie, according to us combined, and that would be You Only Live Twice, because he does not pass.
he does not pass the Japanese.
Japanese, nope.
A memorable scene in that for me. He's sleeping. He's in the bed, I think, with the woman.
Right.
And there's an assassin that lowers a string from the roof
Yes, with the poison.
with the poison, and it's going down the rope slowly. And then he turns and it gets into the girl's mouth and says,
Right.
so she dies.
Now I will
instead.
say the good scene is the mini helicopter scene. I would say that's pretty good. I do think this. Dr. Evil from Austin Powers got his look from Donald Pleasance's
Oh, yeah.
Blofeld. Not specifically
Yeah,
his
yeah.
Blofeld.
Yeah, the cat, Austin Powers' cat is hairless. But you had told me you and your wife watched the movie, and there was an explosion, and the cat was trying to get away, and he was holding them. Like,
Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, next one up would be another Daniel Craig. I just overall the movies, I list Daniel Craig's as the worst bunch. Right?
he's too stoic.
He is. There are good scenes in the movies, but the movies overall, I don't care for. And partly because Austin Powers ruined it, right? James Bond wanted to go outlandish.
Yeah.
And Austin Powers ruined that. And so he had to come back to reality and be like a Bourne movie.
Yeah.
And that's basically what he is now. He's Jason Bourne with James Bond name. But No Time to Die would be this one.
Yeah.
And he dies, obviously. But yeah, and good riddance, baby. With the way they want that kid to go
So don't
somewhere.
they want to go like Jane Bond next or something
I'm
like
telling
that?
you what, if they replace James Bond with somebody else, that movie is gonna flop because that's what woke movies are doing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it does have a good scene.
The
again,
stairwell scene is
where that motorcycle jumps from one level to the other. That's pretty good.
Well, I'm just saying the when he's trying to get in the facility, he's going up the stairwell.
Oh, yeah.
and shooting all those people. That's pretty good too.
Yes. So, like I said, if you want to watch the YouTube clips, that's how you get.
Yes, you can watch all the best scenes on
Right.
YouTube.
All right. Next one up, Thunderball. And I'll tell you why I don't like this movie. The underwater scenes last too long.
Oh yeah, okay.
They do. I think, obviously.
Some of the editing is bad. Like the one time where the enemy's behind him, and he takes a harpoon gun and he turns and shoots him. It's done so fast you can't tell what happened.
You can't tell what happened. Correct. Yeah. So it does. I like the Bond girls in this movie, but that's about it. You know, the one where she died as he was dancing with her, and he puts her down. She's dead tired.
Yeah.
That came from that movie.
He has a scene where he's in a pool and they cover it with
Right, the sharks are in there.
and then the door opens and he just lets the sharks pass. But I'm like, you know what they were missing? Lasers.
Another awesome
Yes.
Okay, next one up. And actually, I watched some of the clips I actually just watched of this movie, and I'm like, oh, I should have ranked that higher. I do have this higher than you, but it's Spectre.
Okay.
But overall, the movie is not as good. But
Best? No, I can't say that. We already said Octopussy's my favorite, but that's a pretty darn good opening.
Yes.
It's a one shot.
When he's walking
He's
on the
following
roof,
somebody.
and then the building collapses onto his roof.
But it's a one shot. I don't know if the entire thing is a one shot.
I don't think so. I watched it. I don't remember.
But there was a long shot when he was falling.
Yes. I could just see the crowd scattering as the helicopter keeps swooping in.
Oh yeah, the helicopter and everybody's like.
The train fight was pretty good. So him versus David Bautista. By the way, that was just 1 year after Guardians of the Galaxy. But yeah, that was pretty good. Where James Bond basically losing that fight.
Yeah.
And then the girl comes in to save him. He puts the rope around him, and they attach it to things falling off the train. Pretty good kill.
Yeah. And then the car chase.
Yeah, the car chase, which could have been better. Those are good cars. Were those not good cars?
Yeah.
And he was going to lose that if it wasn't for a Q gadget to get out of the car. All right, so, but again, choppy bit scenes that are good, and that's pretty much it. Okay, did you have something after that?
No.
Okay. All right, next one up, Diamonds Are Forever. Sean Connery's last movie, which he looked old too, just like Roger Moore. Didn't he have graying hair?
Yeah.
Yeah, but there is one good thing about that movie, and it's the gay villains.
Mr. Kidd and Mr. Wynn.
Yes. They always had witty sayings after killing someone.
Yeah, and I think their deaths were kind of parodied with the beginning of Austin Powers 2 with the robot. And that seemed like, I don't know, that's the one guy that...
where they
an
wrapped
explosion and a body or something.
champagne.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. But yeah, and some of the Bond girls, she's my least favorite.
The scene that makes me anxious is when he's on top of that outside elevator.
Yeah.
He's going up, I'm like, he's on a rough train.
Yeah. So at least it has something like that where it looks like he's in peril. That's something.
Memorable is the room the villains, a couple of the henchmen break into. They take the girl and throw her out the window.
Oh yeah.
And she landed in the pool.
There was a pool.
He goes, nice shot. He goes, I didn't know there was a pool down there.
That is funny. All right, next one up, Moonraker. Because they had to just be Star Wars. We're going to send you out in space. Okay, yeah. And they did have lasers. And there wasn't a shark, but there was Jaws. So Jaws in space.
That beginning is when they're skydiving, right?
No.
Isn't that the beginning?
That's the skiing with the skydiving. That's Spy Who Loved Me.
No.
Isn't the beginning of this one where the one shuttle is eaten by the other one?
Yes. But with James Bond, he jumps out of a plane, and then the other plane, they jump out after him.
Oh,
and Jaws, remember?
Right.
And the stupid, right before they go to the song, he's like spinning, and he goes, and goes into
like it's a circus thing.
Yeah, it's stupid. But he's trying to open it. Jaws is trying to open his parachute, and it would not open.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so obviously Roger Moore's is with the comedy.
Yeah.
Okay, next one up, Man with the Golden Gun. Again, another movie. This is just like the song.
Yeah.
You put the movie and the song way too high.
No, I love that.
Somehow you have this one.
I do like the song.
Yeah, but you like the movie too. You put it at your.
I do like the movie. It begins with Mark Lawrence.
Right.
Getting shot and killed at
Yes.
the beginning scene.
And
He's the one who threw the girl out the window.
did he come across the James Bond wax figure?
Yeah, I
in the
think
beginning?
so.
Okay.
But he's the one that threw the Bond girl out. Diamonds Are Forever.
Oh yeah.
So, and then he's I don't think he's the same character, but that'd be funny if he was.
Yeah. And
Of course, he's the villain, one of the villains in
was-
Midnight.
this was-
Superfuzz.
during Hervé Villechaize, or however you say his name, was that during his time on Fantasy Island? I think it was.
I would think this would be before that, but it could be during that
Yeah.
time.
So,
And of course, he would be the inspiration for
Mini-Me?
I suppose.
but again, it's got the good car jump, but they had to ruin it with the slide whistle. So, but Clifton James, he's a good character.
Yeah, first
Was he-
Live and Let Die first.
Yeah, Live and Let Die first, correct. And then he was back in this one because they knew people liked his character, probably.
Well, let's see, this one was when he was on vacation with his wife, right?
Right. Now, was this before Smokey and the Bandit? Is that where Jackie Gleason's character
Oh,
was
yeah.
copied after?
I don't know. Good point.
Okay, next one up. Dr. No is where it begins. It's before they really knew what the formula was going to be.
Yeah, I don't watch this one too often, and I don't know why I thought this. In my mind, it was black and white. Like, oh, wasn't it a black and white film? No, it's not. I don't know why.
I can't remember if you mentioned, but I did see somebody else mention it where he's in the tunnel, the pipe tunnels, where
Okay.
he gets out of that prison, and then he hangs on as all this water goes through. But then the next scene, he's getting out through the vent into a room. It's like, it's dry.
Oh, yeah.
Where'd the water go?
Yeah, just like Michael Caine in Jaws 3, or Jaws The Revenge.
Right.
He's boat. The shark comes at the plane in the water,
Right.
and then he's getting on the boat and he's completely dry.
Right.
Roger Ebert mentioned that. But okay, one thing I find hilarious is they got the spider. That's supposed to kill him, right?
Right.
And they put glass between him and the spider.
Right.
But it looks like it's walking on him.
But you like.
But then when he gets it off, he takes, I think it's a shoe, right?
And it's
every
noise.
time he hits it, there's a horn. Bam! 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 And it's like, bam! The horn cracks me up, though.
Yes. Now, I think this. Felix Leiter needs his own spin-off. He's been in every movie, or most movies, anyways. Okay, next one up.
And Never Say Never Again, which we'll get to.
Right.
Felix Leiter was Rowan Atkinson.
No, he wasn't. It was Bernie Casey, wasn't he? Rowan Atkinson was somebody else.
No,
I think he was the black guy. He threw the ball at him to catch. You'll have to look it up. Okay. Next one up. On Her Majesty's Secret Service. We got him here probably because it's George Lazenby's only movie. He didn't fit Bond. He really
No.
Even the suit he wore had all the fluffy-
He had a kilt on. My Bond would not wear a kilt.
The whole movie, or just there it was.
Most of the movie, he's wearing a kilt when
Yes.
he's at the resort.
Right. Now, and then you got Blofeld. Several different people played Blofeld.
Yeah.
Right. Telly Savalas. He was
Donald
pretty good 'cause
Pleasance and Charles Gray.
who Gray had hair. Why? There was a consistency.
Well,
He
yeah.
didn't change his appearance.
He changed his appearance so Bond wouldn't find him, maybe. I don't know.
Right. Anyways, yeah, he gets married, so they had to throw a bunch of stuff in there that doesn't belong in a James Bond movie. All right, next one up, Live and Let Die. This would be Roger Moore's first one, right?
Yeah.
And
Pretty good boat chase.
That's what I like about, especially with the orchestra playing when they show the far scenes and you can actually see the curve
The boat,
of the
they
river.
jumped over that road.
Somebody actually changed the music, showed the boat scene in completion, used some other orchestra. I was like, wow, it was still good. But yeah, the boat scene was probably my favorite part of that movie.
And I believe that's the one where he gets off of the boat's going towards the falls and he gets off it as a glider. Is that that?
That might be Moonraker.
Because that's the one with Jane Sanders. But pretty sure it's
No, I think that's when he was trying to find where Hugo Drax was in Moonraker, and
Okay.
it sent him to the Amazon or something like that. Anyways, yeah. So Live and Let Die. We've already mentioned it several times. You like the funeral scene where they're sad and suddenly they're happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So next one, and I don't like the voodoo in that movie. Could do without that part. But they were in a place that had voodoo. So, all right, next one up. Believe it or not, how this got midway through. Never Say Never Again. Obviously, it's better than Thunderball.
Yeah, well, because we like it because they're both 1985. That's why. Because it wasn't the traditional James Bond film, but it was
wasn't.
still a pretty good one.
No, it was still pretty good. Good motorcycle chase.
Kim Basinger,
But
I don't think it was there.
all the other characters that are involved, popular,
Was it Kim Basinger's first film?
It was not, I don't think. But it was
I felt sorry
close.
for the horse.
And then
The
jumped
horse,
off
he
the
jumps off and
castle.
the horse went in the water. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
But the guy who plays Mr. Bean is in that, is a bumbling fool, and you have to
Okay.
look it up.
I
It's
will.
not Felix Leiter.
okay.
And who else was in it? The Pat Roach, the guy that Indiana Jones fought at the plane in Raiders of the Lost Ark. He was the guy that was fighting him with the weights. and
Oh,
all that
okay,
stuff.
okay.
And then who else? There was one other person. Oh, the beginning guy, the brother of Kim Basinger.
Oh, yes.
He was in Superman 3. He was Brad.
Okay.
ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's pretty neat to find that out.
Oh, he was, he played a punk. I think he was a punk
Death
in
Wish
Death Wish.
3.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
If you want to see a difference in looks right there.
And he's dead already. I looked that up too. Okay, so that's our number 13. So we are halfway through.
All right.
Next one up, The World Is Not Enough, which very good beginning. That boat that can go underwater, they actually make it go under and then come back up. And, yeah.
I hate the scene. It's close to the end when his throat is cut and she's turning it, and it's like I'm like, ooh, don't do that! You're gonna break his windpipe.
That was the
There's
point.
Adam's apple. I'm like, don't do that.
Right.
I'm like, he didn't really do that to the actor. I'm sure every time they turn, he's
Nothing.
in there and nothing just act like it's choking you.
Right. Well, they had to look like it did.
Yeah.
He's like, director, I can't breathe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say Denise Richards in this movie probably was a bad move. I know they
Yeah.
thought it would go somewhere good. but
Christmas
it-
Jones. What kind of name is that? Anyways?
Well, we're good on the list of all the movies with the names, but they
And
had
she was a nuclear physicist, I think
Yeah.
that's what she was.
that passed.
All right, everybody made fun of that.
Which movie was the introduction of John Cleese as Q? Would it have been this
It
one?
would have been Pierce Brosnan. It probably Goldeneye because I think Pierce Brosnan was all the. I could be wrong.
I think he was still alive during that. So you looked it up, and yes, I was right on both the both the counts. Yes,
Rowan Atkinson was not Mr. Bean. I mean, Mr.
Yes, he
he
was.
He was not Felix Leiter. That was Bernie Casey. And John Cleese's first film was The World Is Not Enough.
Right, and he should have been R, just like Pierce Brosnan said. Who are you, R? Alright, what's Q even stand for?
I think it does stand for something.
Quantum.
No, it stands for Jaws. Here's the thing. Here's the thing I don't like. Okay, when Pierce Brosnan took over, Judi Dench pretty much became M, right? But then they rebooted with Daniel Craig, and Judi Dench is still M. I'm like, how does that continuation work?
Yeah, doesn't make... It can't make sense. You have to have some continuation
Yeah.
to appease the fans.
You can't make it a continuation because he's like that make him 150 years old. So
No, bad. They should all stand on their own.
yes, and just say these were different cases.